Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a quick impressions of the Olight Osight X. So this is their newest kind of regular RMR cut red dot with the multi-reticle. And yeah, I just wanted to give you some thoughts, ideas of what to expect. When it comes to cons, it's way too early for me to give you my impressions. I've only got like 50 rounds through it, but so far I do really like it. But the cons, I guess, that we'll cover real quick, the cons that I think might come up, and that would be maybe more of the durability of the internals would be the one thing that I would probably worry about a little bit. But, you know, as far as everything else, I think the construction of the dot is, you know, actually more robust. When you look at the aluminum shroud, it's more robust than many of the dots in this price range for sure. And the glass is clearer than many of the dots in this price range. Also, this is almost what I would consider a competition dot size. It's maybe slightly smaller than the 507 comp, but probably bigger than an SRO. I have these Gideon optics to kind of compare it to, and I would say, yeah, overall glass size is very comparable, but it might have a little bit more area to see the dot because it is squared off. So yeah, this is more of a competition size dot, and I think that's where this thing shines. Let's get into the pros real quick, and I want to tell you some things I really like about it. One is the packaging. The packaging is probably one of the best packages I've ever seen. It's got like this magnetic, you know, flap that closes, and everything is really nice. It comes with plenty of screws. Even the way the screws were laid out was really nice. So yeah, everything about it, the packaging is excellent. So that's something I think is, you know, definitely lets you know that although all the negativity you get from people that talk about Olight, they're definitely trying to impress people. They're not just trying to sell you something as cheap as possible, because otherwise the packaging would be a lot less nice, and could be, and they would still sell good, but yet they're trying to make a good impression, and I think that shows in their packaging. Getting back to the dot, I really like this charging station kind of thing that you put on the dot, and this right here, I guess I've heard some negative on people talking about how they don't really like it, but to give you my impressions, I think that this thing right here is nice for people that want to shoot this for competition, and I think that's where this dot really shines. Would I recommend this dot just right off the bat for something like duty purposes? I don't really think so yet, and I don't know if it's quite got the durability for that kind of role to play. But as far as concealed carry, I would have to shoot more rounds to it, but I might suggest this for concealed carry, possibly in the future, not quite yet. But where it really shines for me is like for a duty gun, you know, a heavy gun like this that you're going to maybe shoot in competition, or you're going to take to the range and have a good time with, or show off to your friends. I think that's where the Osight shines, and that's, you know, a majority of a lot of the guns that people collect is not guns that they're going to be carrying on their person. It's not guns that they're going to be carrying in the duty holster. It's guns that they're going to take to the range and shoot and have a good time with and show off and add to their collection. And I think that's where this sight shines the most. So that's kind of my first impressions of it, because, you know, I think this thing is really nice for competition, because you could throw it on, you know, on the way up to the competition as you're driving up there, and your sight will be for sure good to go for that whole match, because you kind of can predict when you're going to be shooting the gun. So I think that's where this idea really shines. Now, it's got plenty of battery life. You can go to the website and look at the specs. I'm not going to cover that here yet, but it's got plenty of battery life on its own if it's charged. But just having this to like throw on the way to the match or something, when you're going to go shoot a match or go to the range, you can just let it charge on the way, and it's going to cover you for that whole day, and you're not going to have to question whether it's going to run out of battery power. So that is awesome, I think, for that application. So as far as the looks, like I went into earlier, the shroud and the aluminum around the housing of this dot is very good. The glass is very good. The reticles are really good. If you have shot a lot of holosuns, like this 507C, which the glass is quite a bit larger than the 507C, and I really like that, you'll notice that the reticles are almost identical. I think I see a little bit different tint in the color of the red, and maybe a tiny bit difference in the reticles dimensions, but they're almost identical. If you shot a holosun one day, multi-reticle, and you shot this the next day, you wouldn't be able to really tell a difference. You would think you were shooting the same kind of reticle, but the dot, of course, is a little bit different. But anyway, I think the buttons are really well done. They're flush, they're large, has good controls. The sighting in screws are very, very clicky. I mean, I'm going to use that word, maybe not a good word, but clicky is a good word for it, because they make very positive clicks, and I really like that. I mean, more so than most of the other dots that I have. So I was very impressed by that. Even the way the housing's made on the inside is very nice. But like I said, the screws it came with, you know, the color of it, I like how the Osight is not white like Holosun likes to put this billboard on it, and I prefer this clean, you just kind of laser etched black name tag on it instead of having that white billboard. I think this looks more higher end. Even if it's not, it still looks it, and I think that's important. I even like how they put the X on the bottom here. I think that looks good too. So the sight overall, I really like the looks of, and the reticle I really like. It was easy enough to sight in so far. But yeah, we're going to have to kind of do some more testing on it. One of the main things I wanted to bring out is as a pro, sorry, the cons, like I said, we haven't got there yet. I think it'll be okay. I think there's not going to be no major cons with this particular model. But one of the pros I wanted to bring out is, you aren't going to be able to tell it probably on video, but as I look at this, I could show you that the deck height is definitely lower on the X than it is the 507 comp. And the 507 comp has a lower deck height than, say, something like this Gideon that has a pretty high, this Gideon Omega has a pretty high deck height. Now this was a very good budget dot for what I paid, because I got it on clearance, but this was actually cheaper than this was normally priced at. So would I take the X over this at normal price? I would say yes. So because I got this one on sale too for about $184. The Gideon I got on sale for $140, but it was normally over $200. So this is going to be hard to beat. As long as this is durable enough to shoot in competitions for several years without going bad or without losing zero, I'm always going to sight my guns in about once every 6 months just to make sure anyway. But for competition dots, I mean, something under 200 with that big of a screen, with that clear of a reticle, with that low of a deck height, is pretty excellent. And I think that's what you can do when you have a built-in battery that you cannot take out and that recharges on its own. You got several advantages. I definitely think that the innovation is here. If they've got the durability, if they're working the durability issues out of the past dots they've had, and they're innovating, you know, and making sure their QC is up to par on every dot that goes out, I think Olight is definitely hitting some innovative thoughts and ideas and implementing them in ways that other people are not doing. Holosun's been doing that for years, but I feel like Olight even took it to the next step. And I think as long as they keep going that direction and they keep working on their their quality that's going out the door, and they keep making it better and better and better, that the Olight might be a contender, especially because this sight was half of the price of this sight. And I love the 507 comp, but if this turns out to be reliable and durable, I might, for the price, say I prefer this for competition style shooting. But guys, I'll let you know later on. I will update you as we learn more and as we shoot the gun more. But yeah, excellent. The deck height is so low on this large dot. It's just, it really, you know, goes down low and probably would allow you to co-witness with things on an RMR cut that a lot of dots will not let you co-witness with. So I think it's pretty great. Yeah, we'll just have to see how it holds up. But one day I'm going to do a competition dot comparison, because we've gotten 2 more dots since the last comparison I've got on more competition style red dots. And I've been trying to buy different dots and not just stick with the same brand, because I don't have no brand that I actually get given to me, or nobody's working with me yet, so I'm able to speak freely and talk about multiple dots, and I'm trying to collect multiple dots so that I can get a good idea of what I want to go with in the future as I actually need to buy them. So maybe I can give y'all an unbiased, you know, bought for out of my own pocket comparison between all these competition dots that I have. So if you'd like to see that, please leave in the comment below, and please like and subscribe and share this video if you can. God bless. Have a great day.